Extreme sports push human limits, giving thrills and achievements, but they come with serious risks. In this video, we'll explore 5 real stories of the most tragic deaths that rocked the world of extreme sports. These are the tales of athletes who faced the ultimate price for their passion and bravery. It was December 2015 near Tokyo, Japan. Kadoo Cloud Toa, a 34-year-old motocross rider, was training for the X Games Best Whip competition. Toa, who had been paralyzed from the chest down due to a previous accident in 2008, was an inspiration to many. He had a special cage installed on his bike that allowed him to ride without using the lower half of his body. This cage effectively strapped him to the bike, enabling him to continue pursuing his passion for motocross. Toa was practicing whips off a 78-foot FMX ramp at the 774 compound, a training facility he frequently used. To ensure his safety, Toa and his friends had constructed a foam pit for him to land in after performing his jumps. On this day, as he performed a whip, he landed in the foam pit as planned. However, the hot engine of his Suzuki RMZ 450 caused the foam to catch fire. The flames spread quickly and Toa, trapped by the cage on his bike, was unable to free himself. His friends watched in horror as the fire consumed the foam pit, making it impossible for them to approach and save him. Despite their efforts, the flames were too intense. Toa burned to death in the pit, unable to escape. Kadoo Toa was an inspirational figure in the motocross community. Before his accident in 2008, he had competed in the All Japan Nationals and some AMA Supercross and motocross events. The 2008 accident had left him paralyzed, but he did not let this setback stop him. Toa's determination to ride again led him to modify his bike with a protective cage that allowed him to continue performing tricks and participating in competitions. Despite his disability, Toa's skills on the bike were remarkable. He had mastered whips, a challenging motocross trick, and was working towards competing in the X Games Best Whip contest. His story was one of resilience and determination, inspiring many in the motocross world and beyond. The foam pit at the 774 compound was intended to be a safety measure, but on that tragic day, it became a death trap. Foam pits are commonly used in motocross training to provide a soft landing for riders practicing aerial tricks. However, they are not without risks. The material used in foam pits is highly flammable, and when combined with the heat from a motocross bike's engine, it can ignite quickly. In Toa's case, the fire started almost immediately after he landed in the pit. The flames engulfed the foam, creating a blazing inferno that made rescue attempts futile. The intensity of the fire and the speed at which it spread left his friends powerless to help. The protective cage that allowed Toa to ride again after his paralysis ultimately contributed to his inability to escape the burning pit. The motocross community was shocked and saddened by the news of Kadoo Toa's death. Tributes poured in from around the world, with many expressing their admiration for his courage and perseverance. Toa had become a symbol of strength and determination, showing that even severe physical limitations could not stop him from pursuing his passion. Freestyle motocross rider Cloud Toa was more than just an athlete. He was an inspiration to anyone facing adversity. His story highlighted the dangers inherent in extreme sports, but also underscored the courage of those who refuse to give up on their dreams. Despite the tragic end, Toa's legacy as a trailblazer in the motocross world remains. It was June 6, 2014, in the Sierra de Segura mountain range in Jaén province, Spain. Dario Bario, a well-known 42-year-old Spanish television chef, was preparing for a wingsuit jump. This jump was meant as a tribute to his close friend Álvaro Bulto, a popular Spanish base jumper who had passed away the previous year during a similar jump in the Swiss Alps. Dario was an experienced skydiver and base jumper, known for his adventurous personality. A father of 2, he had a passion for extreme sports and lived life with enthusiasm. On this day, he was taking part in the International Air Festival, held at a historic castle overlooking a scenic national park. The jump, a daring way to honor his late friend, reflected Dario's fearless nature. Dario gained fame in Spain not only for his cooking, but also for his appearances on TV. His first major television role was on Todos contra el Chef, or Everyone Against the Chef, where his talent and charisma made him a beloved figure. Starting his culinary journey at just 14, he worked in top-tier restaurants worldwide, including in cities like Zurich and London. His dedication earned him several awards, and he was a vocal advocate for healthy eating and active living. As the festival unfolded, excitement filled the air. Spectators eagerly gathered to witness the breathtaking jump. Wearing his wingsuit, Dario appeared focused and composed, likely reflecting on the tribute he was about to make. When the moment arrived, he leaped from the castle, soaring gracefully through the air. For a few seconds, he experienced the thrill of flight. Tragically, something went wrong mid-flight. Witnesses described seeing his wingsuit malfunction, causing him to collide with a cliff in the mountain range. Emergency responders quickly arrived in the nearby village of Segura de la Sierra. Despite their efforts, they were unable to save him, and Dario was pronounced dead at the scene. The incident was captured on camera by a bystander. The news of Dario's passing spread rapidly, causing an outpouring of grief from fans, colleagues, and friends worldwide. Fellow chefs and celebrities shared heartfelt tributes. Spanish comedian Goyo Jimenez expressed his shock, describing Dario as a great guy. The festival organizers, deeply affected by the tragedy, canceled all events for the day and stated condolence. Dario's untimely death left a significant void in the culinary world. His colleagues mourned the loss of a talented chef and an inspiring personality. Paco Roncero, a close friend and fellow chef, described him as brave, generous, and hardworking. Fans remembered him as a dynamic individual whose passion extended beyond the kitchen. In the aftermath, discussions arose about what might have gone wrong. Experts speculated whether the wingsuit had a design flaw or if weather conditions had contributed to the malfunction. Regardless of the cause, the tragedy underscored the inherent dangers of extreme sports, even for seasoned professionals. Dario's life was celebrated for his many achievements. His culinary career, which began in his teenage years, showcased his creativity and dedication. His love for adventure and exploration was evident in his participation in activities like the New York City Marathon. Through his public advocacy for fitness and healthy living, he inspired many to pursue better lifestyles. The impact of his death extended far beyond his immediate circle. Fans and admirers who followed his career felt a profound loss. His television appearances brought joy and inspiration to countless viewers. The festival where he made his final jump became a focal point for discussions about improving safety standards in extreme sports. Calls for stricter regulations and enhanced safety measures aimed to prevent future tragedies. Dario's legacy is an example of his passion, creativity, and adventurous spirit. Though his life was cut short, his contributions to the culinary arts left a lasting mark. As we reflect on his story, we are reminded of the importance of safety. What if his wingsuit had functioned as intended? Could his tribute have gone as planned, inspiring others with his courage? Regardless, Dario Bario's story encourages us to pursue our passions while cherishing every moment and prioritizing safety. It was January 24, 2013, in Aspen, Colorado. The Winter X Games were in full swing, attracting crowds eager to see the world's top extreme sports athletes. Among them was Caleb Moore, a 25-year-old freestyle snowmobiler with 4 X Games medals to his name. Known for his bold stunts and relentless drive, Caleb was considered a rising star in the sport. But that day, a routine performance took a tragic turn. Caleb's journey to the X Games was remarkable. Despite growing up in Crum, Texas, a place with little snow, he and his brother Colton trained relentlessly. They practiced on ramps and foam pits, later transitioning to snow ramps in Michigan. Caleb's talent quickly set him apart. In 2010, he debuted at the X Games, earning a bronze medal in freestyle. By 2013, he was a seasoned competitor with a reputation for fearlessness and innovation. The freestyle competition that day required riders to perform high-risk tricks for judges and an enthusiastic audience. Caleb planned to execute a backflip, a move he had perfected over time. As he launched off the ramp, his 450-pound snowmobile soared into the air. However, mid-rotation, something went wrong. The snowmobile's skis caught the landing slope, disrupting his momentum. The impact threw Caleb over the handlebars, and he landed face-first in the snow. Before he could react, the snowmobile rolled over him, hitting his chest and head. For a moment, the crowd fell silent. Emergency responders rushed to Caleb, who lay motionless. Then, to everyone's relief, he He stood with assistance and walked off the course. Initially, his injuries seemed manageable. He was taken to a nearby hospital where doctors discovered internal bleeding near his heart. He was airlifted to Grand Junction for emergency surgery. Unfortunately, complications arose. Caleb's family later shared that he had also suffered severe brain-related issues. As the extreme sports community awaited updates, hope remained strong. Caleb's brother Colton, injured in a separate crash the same night, expressed faith in his brother's recovery. However, on January 31, 2013, Caleb passed away due to complications from the chest injury. This was the first fatality in the 18-year history of the X Games, leaving his family, friends, and fans devastated. Tributes poured in from around the world. Fellow athletes, including motocross star Carey Hart and Olympic snowboarder Gretchen Bleiler, honored Caleb's passion and bravery. ESPN, the event organizer, released a statement expressing deep sorrow and promising to review safety protocols for future events. They emphasized that Caleb had been performing a move he had previously mastered. Caleb's life was about more than his untimely death. He transitioned from ATV racing to snowmobiling as a teenager, quickly excelling at tricks that others struggled with for years. His determination and natural skill made him a pioneer in the sport. Colton, his brother and frequent competitor, described Caleb as a source of inspiration. Their bond pushed them to excel, both on and off the course. Caleb's agent, B.C. Vaught, remembered him as someone who approached life with unmatched energy and positivity. Caleb's passing also raised questions about the safety of extreme sports. That year's X Games saw several other serious incidents, including a runaway snowmobile entering the crowd and a snowboarder sustaining a concussion during the big air competition. Critics urged stricter safety measures, while others pointed out that athletes understand and accept the risks inherent in these sports. In response, the X Games organizers promised a comprehensive review of their safety practices. They acknowledged the dangers but also highlighted the courage and dedication of athletes like Caleb, who pursued their passion despite the risks. It was August 14, 2013, in the Swiss Alps. Mark Sutton, a 42-year-old British stuntman, was preparing for another extreme adventure. Known for his iconic stunt as James Bond during the London 2012 Olympics, Mark was an experienced skydiver and wingsuit pilot. On this day, he was participating in a non-competitive event organized by Epic TV, an online extreme sports channel. Mark was about to jump from a helicopter wearing a wingsuit, a thrilling activity that had become his passion. Mark was not just any stuntman. A former Army officer, he gained international fame for his role in the Olympics. During the opening ceremony directed by Danny Boyle, Mark doubled for Daniel Craig, performing a stunt in which James Bond parachuted into the Olympic Stadium, accompanied by a stunt double for the Queen. This spectacular scene, with parachutes emblazoned with Union Jacks, captured the world's imagination and highlighted Mark's exceptional skills. Beyond his performance, Mark was known for his intelligence, humor, and the strong friendships he built with fellow athletes. Gary Connery, who had played the Queen in the Olympic stunt, remembered Mark as a close friend. He described their bond as one formed quickly in a sport where shared experiences create lasting friendships. Connery noted that his relationship with Mark was a prime example of this. On that tragic day in August, Mark and his friend Tony Uragallo were in the Swiss Valais canton near the French border. The plan was to jump from a helicopter at an altitude of 10,826 feet, or 3,300 meters, above the Grands Autans area and glide through the air using their wingsuits, landing near the hamlet of Le Petit, close to Tryon. The event, called Helibay 74, was meant to showcase the skills of top wingsuit pilots. The participants, including Mark and Tony, were staying in Chamonix, France, and had crossed into Switzerland for the jumps. Epic TV had organized the three-day event covering the travel, accommodation, and helicopter flights for the participants in exchange for the rights to all footage filmed during the event. Around 11 a.m., Mark and Tony were ready to jump. Both had tiny cameras to record their descent. Dramatic footage shows Mark giving a thumbs up inside the helicopter just before he leaped into the air, with Tony following shortly behind. The goal was simple: follow the terrain and land safely. But something went wrong. Just 20 seconds after jumping, Mark collided with a mountain ridge at a speed of 155 miles per hour. The exact cause of the crash was unclear, but it's believed that Mark misjudged his trajectory and struck the ridge, dying on impact. Tony, who had landed safely, immediately realized something was wrong. He shouted that Mark hit the mountain, causing panic among the other participants. Colombian wingsuit pilot Jonathan Flores recalled the moment, describing it as feeling incredibly real. He noted that their worst fear was unfolding. Norwegian wingsuit pilot Espen Fadnes described Tony's shocked expression, saying Tony landed with a look of confusion and shock. The news of Mark Sutton's death shocked the extreme sports community. The footage of his final moments, released with his family's consent, highlighted the tragic dangers of wingsuit flying. Panuletti, head of Epic TV, explained that the team was devastated by Mark's death and initially planned to halt the project. However, other pilots convinced them that the best way to honor Mark was to continue with the series. What was supposed to be a celebration of extreme sports became a sad reminder of the risks involved. Mark's death was a massive loss, not only to his friends and family but to the extreme sports community, which admired his courage and skill. Mark Sutton's tragic accident raised important questions. What if the weather had been different? Earlier that day, Mark noted the sky was cloudy. Would clearer skies have given him better visibility and helped him avoid the ridge? Mark's story is a reminder of both the thrill and the danger of extreme sports. His legacy as the man who parachuted into the Olympics as James Bond will always be remembered. But his tragic death also became a warning about the potential consequences of pushing the limits of adventure. It was June 15, 2001, in the Maldives, a place famous for its clear blue waters and marine life. Jay Moriarty, a 22-year-old professional surfer from Santa Cruz, California, had come here for a break. Known for riding some of the biggest waves in the world, Jay loved adventure. However, this trip was meant to be different, a chance to relax and explore the underwater beauty of the Indian Ocean. Jay had always been drawn to the ocean. From a young age, he felt at home in the water, whether riding waves or swimming beneath them. His passion for surfing made him well known in the surfing community. Jay was celebrated for his fearless attitude, infectious smile, and kind heart. His big break came at 16 with a famous wipeout at Mavericks, a big wave surf spot in Northern California. A photo of him free-falling from a 25-foot wave graced the cover of Surfer magazine, making him a surfing legend. On this day, Jay decided to go free diving, which relies on holding one's breath rather than using scuba gear. It requires physical strength and mental focus. For Jay, it was another way to challenge himself and enjoy the sea's beauty up close. Jay set out early in the morning to explore the coral reefs and see marine life. He was alone, which was usual for him. When he didn't return for lunch, his friends weren't immediately worried. Jay often lost track of time in the water. However, when dinner time came and he still hadn't returned, concern grew. A search was launched, and soon the worst fears were confirmed. Jay's body was found in the water near the dive spot. The news of his death shocked the surfing community and beyond. Jay Moriarty, a vibrant young man full of life, had drowned in the ocean he loved so much. The exact details of what happened remain unclear. Free diving, while exciting, is also dangerous. It involves holding one's breath for long periods, which can sometimes lead to shallow water blackout, a condition where a diver loses consciousness due to lack of oxygen. It's possible Jay experienced such a blackout and couldn't surface in time. In Santa Cruz and other surfing hubs, there was disbelief and profound sadness. Jay was more than just a talented surfer. He symbolized positivity and enthusiasm. Fellow surfers, friends, and fans shared stories of his generosity, humility, and passion for life. Jay's wife, Kim, who was supposed to meet him in Europe for another adventure, was devastated by the loss of her childhood sweetheart. Jay's mentor, Rick Frosty Hessen, was among those struggling to accept the tragedy. Frosty had seen Jay grow from a determined boy into a world-class surfer. They trained rigorously together for 2 years, preparing Jay for the challenges of big wave surfing. Their bond was more than just mentor and student. It was a deep friendship built on mutual respect and love for the ocean. Frosty remembered the countless hours they spent in the water, the essays Jay wrote as part of his training, and Jay's commitment to mastering his craft. The news of Jay's death was a harsh reminder of the ocean's unforgiving nature, even for the most experienced and skilled. Jay Moriarty's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who knew him and those who admired him from afar. His approach to life, full of enthusiasm, kindness, and a relentless pursuit of his dreams, continues to inspire many. The surfing community, though shattered by the loss, honors his memory by embodying the same spirit Jay brought to every wave he rode.